touchdown and I can't compete. My body's shaking and I'm scared to say just how I feel. Gotta turn on that noise so I can make the right choice. I need to know, as if you won't listen, I might just have to go. I want to leave this all behind. Can we close this door for peace of mind? 'Cause I'm not the one to scream and shout, and you don't wanna talk this out. And I don't wanna lose me, so I need to choose me. Choose me. So I need to choose me. Choose me. I really need to tell you the truth. Your talk is cheap, but your words cut deep. Don't you understand that you're bringing me down till I'm stuck on the ground? I need to turn on the noise so I can make the right choice. I need to know, can this be different, or should I let this go? I want to leave this all behind. Can we close this door for peace of mind? 'Cause I'm not the one to scream and shout, and you don't want.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you guys can hear me okay. Oh shit. We gotta mute that. That ain't gonna work. I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm just getting a few things set up here. We're trying something a little different today. Let me know if I'm too loud. I have the feeling that is going to be a little too loud. Let me make some adjustments. I set up a new mic. I had been using a Yeti mic, which actually sat over there where that camera is that's pointing at me, and it seemed like it was, I don't know, I just didn't like the audio quality of it. So I came in and made an adjustment and just kind of like decided, hey, maybe I should use my brain and get something better that's more portable to set up. So I put a headset on. Hi Emily, how are you? Welcome. Daz, how's it going? Finally, we got a stream that you can come and hang out in a little bit. I hope you're doing good this evening. Just trying to make sure I have everything out here. I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I did a last minute change. We had been doing some HelloFresh meals. This is the one that we actually cooked on Wednesday night, and I was going to do another one today, but then I kind of swung back and said, let's not do that, because I also kind of wanted some Thai curry. It sounded really good. I hadn't had it for a while, so I decided, hey, let's do that instead. So tonight we're going to make from scratch some Thai curry. Now there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can do Thai curry. And for the most part, everywhere that I've read, it's kind of like a hodgepodge of kind of whatever you want to do. As far as vegetables and protein go, you can add proteins, you can not add proteins, you can do all sorts of different vegetables. I actually greatly prefer to do potatoes in mine, so I'm going to be dicing up and chopping up some potatoes. It's good, by the way. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Daz. I appreciate that. If it does get too loud, or if you're catching any background noise or anything like that, let me know, and I'll make some adjustments. Because I wasn't quite using my brain entirely when I was getting this all set up, and I was like, we'll just plug it all in, and as long as I can connect to it and it shows up, we're good to go. And now that I'm actually live, I'm sitting here thinking, oh crap, there's like 50 other things that go along with it. So I hope the quality is okay. I never trust headset mics to have the best quality, at least compared to like what. And I won't even include the Yeti in that because I don't really care for the quality of the Yeti either. But like a studio mic has usually a lot better quality than what these others do. So so I do have another microphone that's coming on Monday, so I'll be able to get that set up, and then we'll probably do another cooking stream, maybe again next week, Wednesday and Friday. Depending on kind of what all's going on, or maybe just a Wednesday. I haven't quite decided yet. So I'm trying to look around and see what I have for ingredients that are out so far. I'm going to leave the chicken in the fridge for now. That'll be one of the last things that we'll chop up, and then we'll move over to the stove area. And I'm gonna have to. Oh, I think I have a couple pans in here. Yeah, we'll use these 2 pans and my bag of rice. I'm gonna have to get that. That one will be. I'll have to go to a BRB screen because it's gonna make a whole bunch of noise to get it out and get it set up. So I'll bring these guys over here and set them on, and we will get to chopping and get to prepping. I'm just gonna take this off because I always make a mess out of everything. So let me actually rinse these guys off, get them prepared. And so this actually, I don't know, I got bored, and I can't remember what time of the year it was. It was probably like in February, March time frame that I got really bored and wanted to make some Thai food. And I was just Googling around, found a Thai dish, and I thought, okay, cool, let's try it out and see how it is. I think I ended up cooking it. I don't know if it was probably uh, like 5 or 6 different times in a week. So I had cooked it that many times. The original recipe didn't make a whole lot because I could almost finish most of it in one meal. Don't forget, Adam, this is not cooking sim, so keep it clean. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely something that I have to be aware of when I'm cooking on stream because I do sometimes want to treat it like a cooking simulator and just want to like fling things everywhere, just thinking, oh, I just have to push a button and it'll clean itself up. Which unfortunately is not always the case. So I'm just going to go ahead and come over here and I'm going to pull out all the seeds and everything because it's not like having the seeds makes any difference for it. Um, and so I was actually, when I made this, I was really surprised at how simple it was. Um, and it's, you just bring the ingredients that you want together and basically put it in the pot. There's a couple steps to it that kind of make it somewhat different uh, from really cooking anything else, and it's the fact that you put a little bit of coconut milk into the pan and you basically simmer it until it thickens up and turns into almost like a coconut paste, and then that's when you throw your chicken in and then start to cook your chicken, and you cook it in that paste, and that's what coats the chicken and kind of gives it all of its super good flavor. Now I just had a brain fart. I need to make sure I should have some chicken broth around here somewhere. I'm gonna need some chicken broth for this. Um, and then it's really beyond that. It's pretty simple. You get everything put into the pan once you get the chicken mostly cooked, and then you just let it simmer for like 12 minutes, basically until your vegetables are done. So if if I did, if I do potatoes in it, the potatoes usually take just a touch bit longer to do. So I usually let it go for usually about 10-12 minutes, and it depends on how big you cut the potatoes too. I like to have a little bit larger chunks because if you accidentally overcook them, then they just turn into mush, and it's not quite as good as what it normally would be. Um, so for these, I just do kind of a simple, I just cut them into smaller chunks like this, or strips I should say. And once we get them cut into strips, just take them, and I just cut them into decent size, like I would almost call it like fingernail size cuts, maybe a little larger than that. Because and that's the other challenge is you have to cut them up so that way you want them to cook at the kind of the same time as what the potatoes do, because if you and some of these you can also toss in at a later time. You don't have to throw all of the vegetables in at once. So if you have something like, especially if you like smaller peppers, if you like smaller chunks, then you can always do smaller. You just add them in at a different time in the cooking process to make sure that you're not overcooking them and they turn to mush. I managed to do it the first time I made this. I used zucchini. And when I put the zucchini in, I put it in right away with the potatoes, and it ended up basically the kind of the outside rind in the skin of it was pretty much still fairly hard. The rest of it turned to complete mush, and it wasn't. I mean, it didn't kill me, but it's kind of better if you have a little bit of chunks to it to kind of add a little flavor. So it was interesting. Also, hi clam. Sorry, I'm like over here rambling like crazy. Let's see, what did you say? I'm here, I can't say anything in a minute. Hands will be full of hair dye. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see your new and exciting hair color, which you still haven't told me what it is, no matter how many times I ask you on Discord. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. Hopefully it turns out awesome. So yeah, so how's everybody's evening going today? What are y'all having for supper? I'm curious. You guys having anything super crazy awesome? Let's finish getting these. I don't know if Frostbites is going to be here. He's going to get angry at me because one thing I always do when I'm cooking meals, especially if I have to cut proteins and vegetables, is I will always wait, and I always cut the proteins at the very end, and I use the same cutting board that I use for cutting the vegetables. And Frostbite says you're not supposed to do that, but I'm kind of a rebel, so I do it anyway. So we're just going to toss these guys up here. And some other cool stuff. I ordered today 3 new webcams, so we'll be adding some more views and getting some of this stuff fixed up. Because right now, that camera there is my gaming camera, so that's the one that I use when I'm playing pretty much any game. And then I have a phone here, and then the one above the stove there is also a phone. And so I'm trying to eliminate all the phones as possible. Just because it makes it a little bit easier to set up and take things down, because I'll just leave them plugged in and just put them on top of the fridge with the PC itself, and that way it's not in the way. What else do I have here? Okay, so I have some clove garlic, and I have an onion. The recipe called for shallots, but unfortunately I did not have any shallots, so I used them all earlier this week cooking, so so I just have an onion instead, which should be fine. Onions and shallots are basically, they're in the same family as each other. They just have, shallots have slightly less oniony taste to it. When you cut them up, your eyes normally don't tear up as much. I won't guarantee that they won't, because you can still get some pretty strong shallots that'll do that. And so I'm just gonna let's do a couple more potatoes here. I haven't even decided how much of this I'm cooking. So we'll see what we end up with here with these potatoes. And if I need to, I'll wash a few more, and we can get those chopped up, and we'll see kind of how we're sitting once we get a little bit farther. Because I just kind of make this up as I go as far as what vegetables and stuff like that I want to add. Let me take a look at this. That seems to be okay. What do we got here? To be honest, the phone cameras are of better quality. Yeah, that could be. I have basically, it's not strip lighting, but it's they're LED spotlights basically in my kitchen. Whoever owned the house at some point removed whatever lighting they had and put in these strips of spotlights. Essentially, they're on track lighting. That's the word I was trying to look for. So I have track lighting, and I've replaced all of the bulbs with LED bulbs, and I have them all pointing in like the perfect places for for the cooking, which is good. That's part of apparently the science that goes into this stuff. And I've got all of the lights pretty much shining. You know, there's a light right here that I can kind of block with my hand that's pointed right at the cutting board. So I'm hoping, and we'll have to see if these. I'll try one of the cameras out and see what it looks like, and if it is doo-doo still, then I'll just send them back, and we'll wait for a better grade camera to go on sale, or to be available, I should say. And so I'm just giving these guys a nice, quick and easy chop, taking off. There's some little spots where you can see that they're starting to sprout ever so slightly, which sometimes potatoes can get little sprouts like that, and I just cut them off and eat the rest of it, because it's usually not anything that affects you too much. No, come on, Daz. The peel has all of the flavor of the potato. I never do. I never peel. Well, I shouldn't say never. Depending on what I'm cooking, I will peel them. In this case, I don't, and I think this is maybe one of the recipes that I said that I need to peel them, but I still don't. And these have the skin on these is not quite as thick as what it would be on like a russet potato. So I usually don't do these because in some cases, as they get a little older and closer to sprouting, the skin will actually just start to flake off. So it's kind of cool that way. Um, but yeah, I 98% of the time I don't remove them unless I'm making something that it makes sense to. Like I've made some soups with potatoes in them where if I don't remove. Oh crap. Welcome. I don't know why I just heard my headset shut off and turn back on. I hope that didn't make a crazy loud noise for you guys. So yeah, so I pretty much, oh shoot, is it really gone? Hold on just a second, because it is showing me that I have audio. Um, no, it's back now. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, it just clicked out for just a second. I heard it like power cycled in my ear and made a noise. Hopefully that's not a common occurrence for this. That will tell you one reason why I don't use wireless devices for streaming. at least at least as best to my abilities, because I did buy a wireless microphone to use up here that I think should be fine. These is similar to what like different I had seen where now I'm having a brain fart what it was, like journalists and different people will use these wireless microphones and have them paired with a phone or some other device where they will record conversations and everything like that. Um, and they said that they haven't had issues with it cutting out or anything like that. So I've got my fingers crossed that it'll be good. Hey Pizzy, welcome. Yes, Chef Adam, and guess what? I'm making Thai food, my favorite kind of food. This is going to be so awesome. Will you be eating by yourself or cooking for a couple people? Nope, this is all me. I every once in a while I cook for folks if they want to come over and eat some of this stuff that I make. But today, nope, just cooking for myself. I'll have leftovers that I'll be eating throughout the week. So, especially this weekend, some of this stuff will be my meals before streams and stuff like that. So for me, this is pretty much, I don't know, I think this recipe, let me see what it says. I think it called for serves 4 people, so I should be able to get at least 4, if not maybe 5 meals out of it. So, and some of it is I'm not even following the recipe, so it probably could serve 6 or 7. Um, Knowing me, because I always overdo everything. You can't use any other peppers, by the way, the green or orange ones. No idea. Actually, you can. I just had some bell peppers in the fridge that I needed to use, so I just decided, screw it, we're gonna throw some in. Um, and I don't know. You could maybe do, if you wanted to spice your pepper, because these aren't really at all spicy. They're almost like a sweet pepper. So you could use jalapenos if you wanted, habaneros if you wanted a lot of kick to it. I've never tried it before, so I can't guarantee how it would turn out. But really any pepper that you have around the house. I actually have some poblano peppers that are out on a plant out back that I need to pick, and I maybe would even try some of those. Um, I love sweet more than spicy, so these would be pretty good for you then. These are just regular bell peppers. You could even get sweet bell peppers. I've had Thai food where they put sweet bell peppers in, and those are always delicious. I've never had a complaint eating those. Oh my fucking god, look at this professional as fuck cooking stream. And on top of it, you're making curry. Yeah, no, this is not professional at all, trust me. It's just Adam getting nerdy and setting up as many cameras as he possibly can. And actually, it's 2 phones and 1 webcam. Welcome, Crystal. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. I hope your day is going well. Um, so I would not call this professional by any means. We're getting closer, but not yet professional. As soon as I have like TV grade cameras and some camera operators that'll like follow me and zoom in and out and do all those types of things, then maybe it would be professional. I just noticed you reach all the way to the top of the cabinets. How tall are you? I am somewhere around like 6'3", I think. 6'3", 6'3 and a half, something like that. Which is always fun because I get people, when I have family members that come over, and you guys can't see it, but these top shelves up here, I can reach to the top of the cabinet without even getting on my tiptoes to touch it. So it's always fun for me because I will throw stuff up there, and people are like, "Can you get that down for me?" Oh yeah, sure. I never even thought about it. um, so yeah, so I'm somewhere around like 6'3", 6'3.5", 6'4" maybe. I don't know. I don't really keep track of it too much. Let me see here. Let's get. Oh boy, let me do this over the garbage because there's gonna be skin all over the place. And I can't believe I went to the grocery store to get stuff, and one thing that I love to put on this curry dish when I make it is, ooh, that doesn't look so hot. I'm gonna chuck those guys. Um, I like to put uh, green onions and cilantro in, and I don't know why I totally spaced it off. I didn't get either of those. And it's not like it's a requirement, it's just a nice little garnish to add a little extra flavor. The onion whites are nice to put in for the green onion. You can dice those up and toss them in kind of early on in the cooking process. Oops, just threw like the best piece of garlic I got out of this thing into the garbage. Um, so, uh, so it's really, there's all sorts of possibilities. And I guess that's the other thing too. I didn't pay attention till now. My head basically gets cut off when when I'm standing back here. I had not paid attention to that. So we have just a few cloves of garlic. I'm a big garlic fan, so I usually add like 5 to 10 times the amount that you probably should, because I really don't mind if I taste the garlic. And I don't know where I had one of those fancy little garlic things. I thought it was over here. It's like a little rubber tube that you put um, the garlic into, and then you just like spin it in there, and it pulls all of the skin off. But unfortunately, I don't know what I did with it. So oh well, we'll go without for right now. This actually isn't that hard to peel, surprisingly. Uh, Sam is 5'1". That one girl's 5'2". I'm 6'3". Which, let me tell you, I mean, y'all talk about how great it is to be tall. Sometimes it sucks being tall. Like when you get on an airplane and you bash your head on the top the top of the door when you're walking in, because it's like made for people who are like 5'5" to walk under without having to duck. I've done that a few times too many. Fortunately, I've never knocked myself out doing it, but I'm 5 feet even. Oh my gosh, Emily. See, you all got it great. I'm actually jealous of you guys, because who cares about reaching the top shelf of the cupboard? You don't even have to put stuff up there if you don't want to. It's banging your head on airplanes is what the painful part is. Let's see here. This is going to be a little bit of a bitch, so we're just going to give it a little smack. And then keep on peeling. And normally I try to keep gloves on hand for garlic, especially. I'm just going to say screw those guys real quick to get the rest of the skin off. I usually try to keep some cooking gloves, just like basically rubber gloves or whatever, to wear when I cut garlic, because it just gets so, like, my fingers are already really sticky. So just gonna give them a quick rinse here to clean them off. And I hope that water isn't too loud. Now I'm getting self-conscious of all the water pouring out because I'm standing like right next to this. The microphone's right next to the sink. Adam would actually bully me. Bully us. I'm tiny too, 5'3". I think I checked Google for it. No, I don't. I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I used to be really short. I hit a growth spurt when I was like a freshman in high school, maybe in 8th grade. I hit a growth spurt, and I was probably 5'5", 5'6", and in like 6 months, I was up to about 6'2". And I think I've maybe since I graduated high school, I've maybe grown like an inch and a half since then to where I'm at now. But I mean, for the most part, I used to be short. So, I guess that's how it goes. Throwing stuff on the top shelf, no us being able to reach it, unless we take a chair. Although, that is a good thing too. I will say that I can stash all of the Oreo cookies and all of the good treats up really high so people can't reach them, and that is kind of a positive there. And then I don't have to get a chair to get it later. Let me see, what do we have here? Do you fit comfortably in your car? Some cars, yeah. So it's kind of a funny story. I actually drive a 4 Series BMW that sits, like probably, I don't know if it maybe sits like 4 inches off the ground, like the bottom of the car. So it's a ways down, and I literally, it doesn't have what I call the oh shit bar that, usually like in trucks and some cars, they have what I call the oh shit handle just above you that you can use. My car doesn't have that. So I have to like use my arms to push myself up out of there because I sit so low and I'm so tall and I'm just not in the greatest shape in the world, unless you count round as a good shape. Um, so some cars, yeah, it's a huge pain. And I've actually had companies that I've worked for when I travel for work and stuff where I'm like, hey, most of the time they want you to get like an economy sized car. I'm like, hey guys, I'm, 6'2", 6'3", 230 pounds. Can I, get something that's a little bit, a little bit bigger? And a lot of times they'll let me upgrade and I can get a standard size vehicle. So it's usually not the biggest issue. But I did kind of make the mistake with my car, and I bought a pretty low riding car that is sometimes a pain. People can't sit in the back seat of my car at all when I'm driving, or at least behind me, because I have the seat not all the way back, but like 90% of the way back, and there's no leg room behind me. Um, so there is that. I think I'd say it sucks more for most cars of the person sitting behind me than what it actually does for me, unless it's a little car. So round is a good shape. Yep, that is me. I am round. That's what I consider. People say, "What shape are you in?" Round. That's pretty much the defining shape of me. And actually, let's see here. So I got a little ahead of myself. Um, what I'm going to do? Let's take. Actually, let me just come over here to my pan. I'm gonna throw my garlic in ahead of time, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna brown up the garlic. I've actually never cooked this meal with garlic in it before. I just haven't had garlic for a while, and I was kind of in the mood to cut up and do up some garlic. So I'm just going to put some garlic in with a little bit of olive oil, and then we'll kind of just simmer that up, kind of get it a little fragrant, smelling nice in here, so I can get a little bit hungrier than what I am. And then we will, my olive oil over here, and then we'll just take that out and put it in a bowl and kind of set it off to the side until we reincorporate it with everything else. So we'll just give that a little bit of splashing. Let's see here. I'm small and round. Oh, come on, that one girl. You're not that small and round. Let me see here. Get this guy going. Get that set up. Okay. And give me, let me see here. I need, actually I'm just going to use this measuring cup because all I use it for is water. Give me half a second here because I'm going to have to move a couple things to get to where I'm going to be, and it's going to make a bunch of noise. So I'm going to head to the BRB screen right quick, and I'm going to grab some rice so that way I've got some rice to cook with, and then we got to cut up this onion. So give me just a second, folks. Okay, here we are. I'm back, and I could actually see this. I thought it was a glitch on the camera. I could see that stuff jumping. Ooh, that smells so good. I'm just gonna bring that down to a little bit of a low. That's one of the things too that I like to do is when I make focaccia bread, is one of the things I'll try to do is I'll try to plan it out when I'm cooking it, and I will I think I'm gonna do, oops, sorry everybody, I'm sure that's probably loud and obnoxious. I'm going to do a half cup of rice, I think. I got to look at some menus and see, because I try to only cook as much rice as I'm going to use. Welcome back. Thank you so much. I just had to get some rice out, and it's in a cupboard, and it makes a bunch of noise, and I didn't want to kill everybody with all of the noises from it. I got the beer belly. I invest a lot in it. That's the same with me, Daz. Working and traveling and doing all that stuff has done torturous things to me, especially working like 15, 16-hour days or more, and then basically just having time to go get a meal and go back to the hotel and work some more. Kind of sucked. Let me find a meal here that has some rice to it. We'll just cook a HelloFresh sized amount of rice, maybe just a touch bit more. What does it say here? Jasmine rice is 3/4 cup. So we'll do, ooh, that seems like a lot. Yeah, we'll do it that way. So this is a half cup. I'm just gonna dump that in there, and I gotta grab this wire and make sure I don't melt it. Let's see how it's going. How's it going, Pizzy? How are you today? I forgot to ask you earlier while I was panicking in my head trying to think of everything that I needed. I hope your evening is going well. What'd you have for dinner? If you've had dinner yet? What time is it even? Is it 5:30? So it's 6:30 out on the East Coast for all you cool people. Okay, so we have that. Nothing yet? Oh man. Me either, actually. That's just because I'm still working on cooking it. We'll get our water in here. Oops. Just swirl. And there we go. Okay. Just set that there. And then I didn't fill my salt shaker because I was lazy. So we have to go with the big guy here. Get a pinch of salt in there for that guy. And back to all these awesome things we go. Wait, we are on the same time? Yes, we are, that one girl. I live literally like 5 hours straight north of you almost. Just a little bit to the west. So I'm going to grab this guy because we got to cut all of our vegetables and produce and stuff before we get to the chicken. Because once I cut the chicken, there's no going back. I don't allow myself to ever cut any more vegetables after that because I'm lazy and I only want to use one cutting board. We're on the one cutting board meal plan, everybody. Get ready to ride this train all the way to the station. And I'm a big fan. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm a huge fan. I love chicken thighs over chicken breast, just because I tend to not overcook the shit out of chicken thighs. So they usually do pretty good for me. I don't have to worry about overcooking or screwing those things up. Ooh, see, that's looking perfect. So I'm gonna kill that. That I'm just gonna let sit for just a touch bit longer till we can get everything going. And I'm not even gonna use this whole thing. I'm just gonna try to really thinly slice up some of this, and then we're just gonna chop it down into smaller pieces once we get some of these things cut up here. What do we have here? What do you like to eat when you eat out? Do you prefer eating at home or grabbing something out to eat? That's a good question. So it kind of depends on my mood. If I'm feeling really lazy, I'll go out to eat, and it just kind of depends. I love Asian cuisines, so Thai food, Chinese food, Indian food, Japanese like sushi, stuff like that, are some of my favorites to eat. So if I go out to eat, I kind of steer towards those, but at the same time, I love to cook. So I would say when I'm at home, most of the time I'm cooking something in the house and not really going out to eat all that often. And I'm one of those, I go through phases. Sometimes I will literally cook all that I'm going to eat for a meal, and that's it. So I will take some chicken breasts, chop them up, make some pasta, and it would be just enough made for that meal. And sometimes I will make enough to last me like 6 weeks. So I can be really all over the road, depending on what I do. But yeah, so I'm usually more of a at-home eater, and I think that kind of changed. I used to be let's go out to eat and do all that stuff, but um, I spent between 2017 and 2019, um, well, let's say through 2017 till like summer of 2019, I think I was on the road in different cities, probably like 90% of that time. And when I'm out on the road like that, I'm staying either in a hotel or an Airbnb, and I don't have access to a kitchen or anything like that. So I'm usually eating out like every day for lunch. I'll eat at the cafeteria at the office, and then for dinner, I'm going out to some restaurant and having some food. With that being said, I usually try not to eat the same thing if I can, depending. I spent I think it was like the first 3 months that I was up working in Minneapolis. I ate at a different restaurant every night for dinner, just trying. I'm not going to put those on there. They're going to fall off and end up all over the counter. So, another. Oh, actually, we'll use this bowl. I'll use this bowl later to eat my curry out of. Um, I basically went 3 months without eating at the same restaurant twice and tried all sorts of different food. And in that case, I did add some variations. It wasn't just Asian food, because that would have been amazing, but they don't have that many restaurants up there for that. But I went around and ate a little bit of everything from all these different places, got to know like what was good food, what wasn't good food, and got to eat at some places that I didn't even know there were restaurants for those. So it it was pretty good. My other new game is getting very good and very confusing. Ooh, that's interesting, Pizzy. I hopped in and kind of lurked for a little bit, but then I had a bunch of work calls that I had to hop on, and so I didn't get to listen in and chat with you. Uh, Adam, you are my spirit eater. Asian food rule. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just absolutely love all Asian foods pretty much. I cannot deny it. It is by far my favorite. If you give me a choice, 98% of the time that's what I'm picking. It'll either be that, or if I for whatever reason decide not to choose Asian food, then I'm probably circling back and going for probably Mexican food is probably one of my next favorite ones, or barbecue. Those two are pretty high up there on my list. Let me see here. Store-bought red curry paste. I'm just looking through to make sure I've got everything chopped before I get the chicken out. And it looks like I do. And I need fish sauce while I'm in here. So let me make sure I get the fish sauce out, because that's gonna... Ooh, my back is gonna be hidden up in here somewhere. And what I should do is I should set up a refrigerator can, but I should clean my refrigerator first because it's so full of foods. Oh, I just found broccoli. You know what? We're gonna add some broccoli to it, guys. Guess what? Surprise ingredient. This is like Iron Chef. We have a surprise ingredient that we have to use: broccoli. I absolutely love broccoli. I got the fish sauce. We'll just set that over here. And what did I go in there for? I went in there for chicken, and I know exactly where the chicken is. So would you look at that? You go in, and we find a whole new vegetable to use. What do we got here? Get out of my head. But I can't eat spicy food. Oh, damn. See, that's the thing that would kill me, is I absolutely, hands down, love spicy food. Even so, I've got in here, I've got, what is this, like a 2-pound bag? Oh, no, 8 ounce. It's the size of a 2-pound bag of Szechuan peppercorns. And I also have somewhere around here, there's some crushed chili peppers, and they may not be in here anymore. I may have actually eaten them all. But those are usually some things that I'll just take like heaping tablespoons and chuck them all in there. I prefer eating at home. I love home cooked meals, but when I crave something, it's either a bomb burger, buffalo chicken fries, or some sushi. Ooh, yeah, see, that sounds delicious. Did you add that blue bulb? Blue bulb? What do you mean blue bulb? Did I miss something? Blue bulb. My BF loves spicy food, but he farts after eating them. Yeah, I know how that goes. I mean, I've had some spicy food that turns you into like upside down volcano afterwards, and that can get pretty wild. Let me see here. Okay, let me grab this guy and figure out how they wrap this up. Oh, there we go. Perfect. It's like they bagged it from somewhere. That's kind of interesting. Grab the, oops, grab that off of there. Just set a couple of these down. And the only thing that I don't like about these is, unless you get a really good deal on them, I am, oh, hey, look, oh, my watch is telling me to wash my hands for 20 seconds. It's a good watch that way. It seems like such a waste of broccoli, because I never eat the actual, I don't eat this portion of the broccoli, which I guess you could do, especially if you did. I guess it'd be good for, like, broccoli soup. Oh, the blue bulb in the refrigerator. Actually, no, it's not a blue bulb. It is just literally, let me see what this looks like. Oh, whoa, that's actually really cool. I don't know why it's like that, because it's, oh, do you know what it might be? Does it change at all? No. I don't know for sure, because it's, let me just grab this real quick. It's actually, I mean, it's just LED lighting in the refrigerator, so I'm not really sure, and you can see my huge mess of a fridge that I have. I collect everything, as you can tell, but they're just standard LED lights, so it's really weird that the camera picks them up as that color. Hey, everybody. I don't know. At first, I thought it was those egg cartons there that were causing that. So I actually don't really know for sure. I'm gonna have to mess with that and see if I can figure out. Let me just angle that multiple directions before I realize that I don't know what I did with it. And I don't know. It's a new fridge. I just got it. When did I get it? In July? Yeah, I think I got it like mid-July, because my other one was leaking water out of the freezer down into my basement, and I got pretty upset about that, so I said, screw it, I'm buying a new one. So I ordered one, and they brought it out, and it's been amazing. Ooh, excuse me. So actually, I don't really know. I'm now intrigued by why that's blue colored. So now I'll spend like 5 hours tomorrow trying to figure that out. Just chop these guys off. Maybe chroma key. That could be. It could be something with OBS. I'd have to mess with it and see. There might be, I might have added some, I may have done some color correction for the room to brighten things up and make things look a little different. So that actually, Daz, might be it. You might be onto something with that. I'll have to check and see. But I guess I'd never paid attention when I had the fridge open what it looked like on the camera. So these guys, I just usually like to try to break off as many of them as possible before I start trimming back, just because a little bit of stem never killed anybody. But some of these get to be pretty long in the way. I don't like the leaves, so we get those picked out. Oops. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm also kind of curious how long we're going to take to cook, because I didn't really think about how long it takes to cook this stuff. We'll just say that's scrap, as I make a huge mess on the floor. Just do this. Make these choppy chops. So yeah, I don't know. Now I got a whole new mystery to try to figure out that I never even thought of. Let's see here. Get this guy cut into some smaller pieces. And we're just gonna bummer. I need to get that onion before I need to get the broccoli and stuff, because the broccoli will go in with all of these guys. So we'll just try to stack that, and then once we dump the onion in, we'll get it going. I'll put it in with the curry paste and everything once we get the chicken in, and we'll saute it before we add in the chicken stock and the rest of the coconut milk, and that way it'll have time to kind of cook up a little bit while we're cooking the chicken. Should be okay. Alright, let me get this going. Just rinse this guy off real quick. The joy of cutting broccoli. So, what I'm now curious about is how many picky eaters have I now turned off because I've added something into this dish that they don't like. Is there anybody who's like, ew broccoli or ew potato peppers or anything like that? Or ew garlic or onion? Uh-oh. Why did my screen turn off? Oh, my session got disconnected. Whoopsies. Reset. There we go. Okay, now we're back. We're still rocking. Okay, so protein, beautiful. Ooh, we've got some fantastic Bago chicken. Oh wow, that got really laggy. Is it coming back? There we go. Okay, that was really laggy for a hot second there. So I got a pound and a half of chicken because I am one of those people who, when I eat foods like this, I don't want it to be all just like liquid or vegetables. I gotta be able to uh, get some of the protein and all that stuff from it. So I like to do quite a bit of my proteins whenever I'm doing them. We got a lot of proteins here, don't we? Yikes. Okay. And then for me, it's basically just kind of a rough chop. I just kind of cut up pieces, try to keep them all around the same size if I can. That way you don't have to worry about some of it being cooked and some of it not being. But at the same time with this recipe, the fact that you just let it simmer for 10 minutes, 10, 12, 14 minutes, um, it's one of those things that the size doesn't 100% matter, but it's always good to not have like a super big chunk of chicken that may possibly not get cooked. Because let me tell you, I've never had salmonella, but I really don't ever want to get it. so, so that's one thing that I would recommend is, just make sure they're all cut to the point that they will definitely be cooked by the time the meal is ready. Um, and I just don't like always having like huge, major, large chunks of meat that I have to bite through and eat. So especially if you use, like, I like to use ramen spoons when I eat my curry because then I can scoop up some of the vegetables and some of the curry and the rice and all of that stuff. So for me it's easier if you don't have like major large chunks of stuff that you have to cut up, and then you can just toss it into a bowl and it makes it easier. I hate going to a restaurant where they'll give you like a chunk of, oh, that's a lot of fat there, where they give you like a chunk of chicken that's like this big and it's all cooked and it's like one huge chunk. I don't know how well you can see that because it's the same color as my hands, but you get a chunk like this big and it's like, holy crap, I can't fit that into my mouth. I need that's like 3 bites right there, dude. Calm down. So just keep on chopping through these guys here. Get these all going through. This is gonna be a lot of protein actually now that I look at it. So I'm definitely glad I grabbed out 2 cans of what's it called? Coconut milk. And that'll be the next thing that we'll open up here. We'll get that simmering. The nice thing is once I get all this stuff done cut, and I can pay attention to chat a little better than I have been. Let me see here. Clam. I'm gonna bother her because I know she can hear me, but she won't be able to say anything because she's doing her hair. How's your hair coming along? I hope it's coming along well. And that's the thing that's nice. And I didn't mention earlier, so this recipe, the nice thing is I've cooked so many different Thai dishes, Indian dishes, stuff like that, that require you to have like garam masala and curry powder and all of these different like exotic powders and stuff that sometimes can be hard to find. I'm fortunate enough that we have an ethnic mart nearby that sells mainly Asian style stuff, so it's usually not too hard. And I just like to thin this out. I'm going to salt this. That way we can get everything seasoned. And of course, we wash our hands so that way we don't get sick. And so thankfully I can get most of that stuff, but I still like to take the shortcuts sometimes. And one of the easy shortcuts with this one is if you can find curry paste at your local grocery store. That is really the easiest way to do this because I'm just adding regular ingredients. You can buy coconut milk really easily. You can get all that stuff. And then I just get curry paste, which I actually found at my local grocery store. And this is hot curry paste. So Pizzy will not want to be anywhere near me once I finish eating this because it's probably going to be pretty spicy. Salt it up. Heck yes. Um, and so that makes it really easy because then you just need your basic seasonings that you want to add. If you want to add onion powder, garlic powder, any of those types of things, you can do those, and it's nothing really too crazy. Get that toxic, you mean? Yeah, I mean, it can sometimes spicy food. It depends on the person. It can turn really toxic. I get more toxic from eating vegetables than I do from eating spicy stuff. Um, so there is that. But that, I mean, a lot of times that's just me. Let's see here. So we need 1.5 cups of coconut milk. So we're gonna do 3 cups of coconut milk. I'm gonna triple the amount of this. And how much is in a can? There's 5 servings per can. So there's 1 2/3 cup per can. So that should be fine. 1 2/3. So we'll just use the 2 cans. Did you get that? Toucan? Oh, it's a bird. No, just kidding. Sorry. I'm maybe slightly losing my mind over here, but I don't want to tell you. Is rare veggies making me toxic? Yeah, it depends on the vegetable. For me, especially cauliflower is one that, for whatever reason, kills me, and I don't really know why. Let me wash some of this stuff down the sink really quickly. Get some hot water going. And I'm lazy with these. I got my little cleaning sponge over here. It's all soaked up, ready to go. Just do that. Same with this. Now my wash wants me to wash my hands again. It's kind of funny. I was doing dishes the other day, and it was like, I think I did 20-second hand wash like 10 times in a row. It was hilarious because it kept like, good job, good job, good job. Every time I turned around. So it was I was entertained by it. I was like, well, let's see if I can set a record for like washing my hands 30 times in a row and see what they say. Let me just hang this up because it's starting to get a little bit damp here. And can opener. Get this guy out. And so let me think here. So we got 2 cups, 2 and how much did I say was in here? There's 5 servings, so there's 2/3. So I got a lot. I'm just gonna do a half cup once I get the rest of my stuff out of here. See, this is my least favorite thing about cooking, is I'm gonna have enough dishes to do by the end of this that I have at least an hour or so of stuff to do. I just gotta heat this back up again because it's gotten a little bit congealed there, not wanting to move very much. I think, Pizzy, a lot of it comes down to is how often do you eat vegetables? I think the ones that you eat fairly constantly, your body gets used to processing, so it's not that much of an issue. But for me, I don't eat cauliflower all that often. As bad as it is to say, I eat more broccoli and potatoes and peppers and stuff like that, that they're usually not an issue. It's cauliflower that I have maybe once, like a month or something like that, if even that often, that gets really weird. So I don't know exactly what it is, but I guess it's interesting. I salted the rice already, didn't I? Yeah. And actually what we will do is we will turn the rice on and get it started up and see if we can get it up to a boil. Then we'll start simmering it, and then by the time everything else is done, it'll be done just a little bit sooner than what everything else will. But we'll just keep it on the warmer and let it keep going. Did I lose connection to my, oh shit, wrong thing. Settings, this guy. I lost Stream Deck connection. I refuse to eat cauliflower, but I eat veggies daily. See, now if you liked cauliflower and if you ate it now, I guarantee you it probably wouldn't sit well for a bit. There we go. Okay, so that's good. So I'll grab this guy out. Oh, this smells so good too. Like olivey garlic. I just grab a scraper because I'm going to use that for this coconut milk to basically just kind of maneuver it around, because we're going to simmer it till it turns into a paste, and then we'll add our chicken in, and then once the chicken gets a little bit cooked on it, then we're going to add in our onions and try to see if we can get them kind of incorporated in and get those nice and delicious. And then I got to figure out my chicken stock scenario, because I don't usually too often do anything with an actual... Sorry, I'm going to block you guys for just a second while I try to see if I have any chicken stock. Yikes. Now look at me up on my toes here, trying to get a good view of everything. Oh, hey, look, there's a whole thing of vinegar that I didn't know I had. Okay, so I do have this guy. How much do I need? 1 cup of chicken stock to 1.5 cups of coconut milk. So I'll probably need 2 cups of chicken stock anyway. And this has 4 cups in it, so we'll use half of it. That's okay. We'll at least use half of it. Then I'll make like some hot and sour soup or egg drop soup or something like that later with the rest of it. That'll be fine. Okay. this guy going. Put that in. So that's a half cup. We're gonna just do a touch bit more because it's not like it's gonna make too big of a difference. So we'll put that in there. Get this scraper because we're not wasteful. Waste not, one lot. That's like a little sip. Nice little sip of coconut milk right there that we could have. So we'll get all of that out. Get that going. And we'll just let it slightly come up here. I guess I should put some heat under it, shouldn't I? I don't want to clank that too loud and kill you guys' ears. Let me get my iPad here so I can see messages while we're over in the battle zone over here, as I call it. Let me kill that reconnect just to make sure it's going on still. I got my nice little recipe stand here that I use to put my iPad on so I can see what people are saying, how good or bad the stream is going, depending on if everything is on fire or not. So we'll just slide that up there. I'll rinse this guy out real quick. Perfecto. And yeah, so what I like to do is I like to just let this simmer ever so slightly, and then I'll add in the curry paste. Need a lid for that guy. Pretty sure that's the lid for that guy. Yep, it is. Okay. Set that up there. Hey, we have a Discord. Come hang out. So we'll let that come up to a boil, and then we'll set it to a simmer. And I'm going to need this guy next. We need the good old curry paste. Oh, yes. Here, look at this, guys. Where's the camera at? I don't know how well you can see that, but there's our curry paste there that we're going to add in. And we need quite a bit of it. And I've never put in the max amount, but today I think we're going to be a little on edge here. We're going to try putting in, I think it calls for like 5 tablespoons of curry paste to make this. And I was hesitant the first time I made it, but I think it'll be good because it'll add some kick to it. What does it say? 2 tablespoon fish sauce. We'll get that. Yeah, 4 to 6 tablespoons of red curry paste. So it calls for a bit. So we'll do 6. Oh wow, that was quick. Okay, so that's come up already. So we'll start dropping these in. There's 1. I always got to count these out, otherwise I forget. There's 2. There's 3. Oops, I missed. There's 4. We'll do 5. We'll do right in the middle, because I think the last time I did 3, because I was like, this seems like a lot. Because, I mean, I've used basically half the jar. I don't know how well you can see that there. So I've gone through half the jar. And we'll put the lid back on. And then that's what I like this guy for, is to just scrape out all the goodness, because you don't want to waste anything here. Just stir this down, and this is where the red curry comes in. This is literally what makes it red. And once we add in the other coconut milk and everything, this will be probably a little bit darker red. It'll actually probably look more like a yellow curry. That's the thing that I find interesting, is that, you know, it's called red curry, but most of the times I've made it, it looks more like yellow curry. But it's just because it has red curry paste in it, is why they call it red curry. So very, very interesting. But there's probably some other scientific facts behind that I don't know, so I'm just like making shit up in a way to say this, but that is my mind's, or my ideal, my thought behind it, I guess I should say. I'm just gonna quickly, doesn't need to be washed, I'm just gonna kind of rinse it out and clean it up a little bit. Bring this guy down to a simmer there, and set that aside. The danger zone. Heck yes. That's what I call my kitchen. It's pretty much the danger zone, because you never know what's going to happen in here. I get a little wild sometimes. So now let me switch this over. We'll get the little bit bigger stove string going on. Oh. How come that has garlic on it still? Hold on, guys. Reconnect. I don't know why we lost connection there. Or at least hopefully. You're a fan of Archer. No, I have not really at all watched Archer. Technical difficulties, maybe? Oh, yep, technical difficulties. Sorry, guys. The phone locked. If the phone locks, the camera no worky. Sorry about that, everybody. Now I gotta get it in position, and let's see if it's picked up yet. Nope, not yet. Reconnect to device. Maybe not. I am always wild. I was born to be wild. Hey, look at that. Look at that, guys. I went from garlic in there to bam, look, we've got curry going. How about that? So now, oh, hey, look, Windows sounds too. You guys have heard it all, haven't you? I gotta figure out what the heck that was and make sure it doesn't ever happen again. I just wanna, there's some like little chunks of curry in there that I just wanna kind of squash out. So, we'll get the heat cranked up on this a little bit and we'll start to thin this guy out till it turns into basically a paste. Which I thought was interesting. I was like, man, this seems like weird. Like, is it ever going to actually turn into a paste? And it does. You basically just boil off whatever's water's in there, and you end up with pretty much like a solid coconut. So it's very, very interesting. So yeah, magic. Pow! I wish I would have snapped my fingers like right at the perfect time when everything changed. That would have been, I would have just been so amazed with myself. It would not have even been funny. Okay, and next what I need is, I need a... yeah, let's do this guy. I just need a glass of water because I didn't refill my water jug before I started stream because I'm a bad streamer. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of water out of here real quick because Adam is getting thirsty from talking. A lot of talking, not that much action. And don't worry, I'm not going to the bathroom. I've accidentally had my mic on mute before and people are like, "Are you peeing?" Nope, I'm just getting water out of my Brita. There we go. Okay. Hey, that's fantastic. Okay, let's get over here and tend to this guy and hope to God I don't burn my fingers on that. Oof, oof, that is very strong. This is going to be pretty spicy, I think. I can smell the spice from here, and it kind of just burned my nose a little bit. So this is going to, oh, this is going to be tasty. Now I'm getting excited. And that's the other thing I need to check for. Where's my cayenne pepper at? Oh, good. It's over there by the laptop. So it'll be, I like to add a little bit of cayenne pepper to the chicken just to try to kick the spice up a little bit. So I'm just going to let that sit and bubble up there a little bit. I'm going to come over here to this guy. I'm just going to dangle a little bit of cayenne pepper onto this baby. And yes, I bought this thing like maybe, whoops, let me get it in frame here so you can see it. I think I bought this thing maybe 3 months ago, and that's how much is left of it. So it tells you, if that tells you that I like spicy food or not. Well, you wanted spicy, so you got spicy. I sure did. Let me flip over to the stove here for you guys so you can see a little bit. There we go. It's a little bigger, I suppose. My BF makes autumn sweet curry rice with almonds and sultanas for me. Ooh, that sounds really good, actually. Maple and brown sugar. Oh yeah, see, that's what I need to work on. That I need to come up with like some sweet curry dishes that you can make, and not always, because I mean, for the most part, anything that I have Asian cuisine wise is always something spicy. So I'm pretty bad about that. I tend to really go for spicy foods, and I don't know why. I don't know if I'm just, if that's something about me. That's why I like Mexican food also, is I like to get spicy stuff. My favorite Mexican dish to get is chile verde Colorado, which is a spicy green chili sauce that they cook pork in for hours and hours and hours, so it's nice, tender, fall apart, and then just make like little burritos out of it. And I think it's fantastic. So I don't know, maybe I'm just like predisposed to just wanting to eat spicy food all the time. Keep on bubbling, baby. Look at this thing go. This is fantastic. What I should do actually is I'm going to do a little flip-flop in here. I'm going to bring my laptop over because then I can monitor. I can see what you guys see, so that way I'm not blocking the view, because I don't really need to see what's going on for the most part. I mean, as long as I don't burn myself. Let me just bring this guy over here quick. Just slide these guys out of the way. And then I'm going to plug my laptop in so it doesn't die. because I have the feeling with as long as I'm taking to do this, I'm going to need some battery life for this thing. Let's try to do that without dumping everything everywhere at him. Look at me. If there's anything you've learned from this stream, safety has not been my priority, apparently. And it's going to get even worse because there's the cable going right across the sink there. Now we can see the oil's extracting from the curry here. And that's really what we want to see. That's the interesting thing. That was the thing that, wow, that's lagging so bad. Is it okay now? That looks a little better. That is the thing that I thought was really interesting about this, is you don't add any oil to it at all. I did because I wanted to kind of brown up my garlic there to begin with. But you don't add any oil at all. All of the oil that's in it comes from the coconut milk. So that, and the chicken fat. There's a little bit of fat in the chicken, so that'll add. Okay, am I back? There we go. I just heard my headset ding again on me. It's coming through the coconut milk, so it's kind of cool because that's supposedly supposed to be really healthy for you. Oh my goodness, this is coming together. So you can kind of see it's starting to thicken up a little bit more, and we got a little bit more of the oils coming out of it. So we'll just kind of let that sit there for just a touch bit longer, and I'll look to see what Dad said here. I always think eating too spicy will burn through your airway. Not sure. As my headset cuts out again. This is going to drive me crazy if that starts happening too much. That is, I don't know. I mean, you can eat something that's too spicy, and it could give you like a stomach ulcer, and that can cause stomach acid to kind of eat away at other parts of your body and can cause some pretty bad stuff to happen. How spicy you have to go, it's hard to say, really, because, I mean, there are people that eat stuff that's, like, 10,000 times hotter than what this is. So I don't know. I think it just maybe depends on the person. So we're still thickening up here. It's coming along pretty well. We'll see what happens once this gets a little bit more to a paste-like consistency, and then I'll bring my chicken over to put it in. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so far this stuff is rocking along pretty good. I didn't remember it taking this long the last times I made it, because I've made it for lunch some days when I'm really, like, I'm so hungry. I'll have a lot of this stuff I'll pre-chop and have in a container ready to go for a lot of meals, depending on how good I'm feeling after I go grocery shopping. A lot of times I'll bring, like, fruits and vegetables home, and the first thing I'll do is take them out, chop them up, and basically prepare them for whatever I might make, if I can do that. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to make with them, so I leave them whole just in case, to be able to do whatever I need to. Hello, Captain. How are you doing this evening? It is definitely getting thick. We're just bringing it down to a nice, thick consistency, trying to get it down to a curry paste, basically. Cook out most of the coconut milk, leaving behind the coconut oil and some of the coconut, I guess, is what it will turn into as we go here. So we're getting down here. It's getting nice and thick. You can actually see it won't even really stick to my spatula anymore here. So we're getting right where we need to be. Just playing with the pupper. Heck yeah, man, that sounds good. Bring that up just a touch bit more. We'll let it sit there. I won't touch it. I won't even look at it. I'll come over here and stare at some of this stuff for a minute or two. Hopefully it'll cook down a bit more, a little faster. Look at that go. Can you guys hear that? I think you can. I can't hardly hear it because these headphones are noise isolating headphones. So we'll just keep on stirring. Pull it back just a little bit. We're getting a little too high heat, I think. I've never had it bubble like that, so we're going to bring it back a little bit. Keep it on going. Hear what? The sexy voice on stream, because yes. Captain, you're too nice. Come on now. I wasn't sure how well this microphone picks up all the background noises and stuff going on. I think we're getting pretty close. It's going to be about as close as we're going to get it. And I don't know. I've never really taken it to the point like the video that I watched, because the instructions kind of confused me. They it was really strange because they like had it down to where it was like a paste that you could like pick up and slather on stuff, and I don't quite let mine go that far. I try to get it, really as thick as I can, and it's going to be just a slightly thicker than this because I don't want it to be quite as, it still seems kind of like it's soupy, but we'll let it get down just a little bit more and see what happens here. All right, I gotta lay in bed. My eyes gave up. All right, Daz. Hey, man, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Yes, we'll see you tomorrow. I will be doing an afternoon stream, most likely, like an early afternoon. I'm thinking 1 or 2 o'clock afternoon my time, and just stream for maybe 3-4 hours, something like that. And then I'll have to try to get some stuff prepared for next week, because I do have my other kitchen. My new cameras are supposed to be here tomorrow, so so I'll try to get those set up and see, because I don't have stands for all of them, so that'll be my next challenge, is to figure out what to do without stands for everything, and where I can put them and how they'll look, and just try to make sure I can get the best camera angles that I can get. What's the plan after cooking? That's a great question, Captain. I don't know yet. That's the one thing that I've been thinking of, and it took me like 30 minutes, and I still couldn't figure out what I'm going to do. I have a few games on my list that I would like to play, so I'm going to look at those, and if I do not come up with any of those, then it's going to be something else. I don't know for sure. Oh my gosh. So we will see. I'm not entirely sure. If you need a gamer, okay, heck yeah. I'll let you know. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe, I don't know, maybe some Limbo, maybe some Graveyard Keeper. It just kind of depends. I figured it depends on who's here and what's happening. Kind of depends on what I'm gonna probably end up doing. So we'll have to see who all is up to what. My gosh, where's my emoji? There we go. Don't forget about Alien. Yes, and actually I talked with Frostbites about that tonight. I was talking to him a little bit earlier about games and stuff, and he said, what about Alien Isolation? And then we also kind of agreed Spooktober starts next week. So I think we're probably going to pick that up again next week as kind of our kickoff of Spooktober is going to be finish Alien Isolation. And then I've got a few other horror games that I've acquired over the last few weeks, and I think I'm gonna play some of those too. So so we're gonna add those to the list. You Frost, yeah, where is he at? I was thinking he would be here, but I don't think he is yet. So we'll have to see. Okay, so I'm thinking this is gonna be pretty much right where I need to be. It's still it looks a little bit thin, and that's just because of the oil. It really doesn't want to sit still. Like if I try to scoop it up, it's pretty much a solid. It's not. Ooh, as I catch my finger on the side of the pan, it's not really gonna be having any issues. So I'm gonna turn that down for a half second. Gonna get that off of there. We'll bring our protein over. We'll just start slapping that in there, making all the nice sploopy sounds. Perfecto. Oh, yes. And then basically the object is to get everything as coated as possible. And when I say everything, the chicken. Try to get the chicken as coated as possible with basically this curry paste that we just made with the coconut milk and the oils and everything. So I just stir that around. I should have done this in a skillet, but I didn't, because I wasn't sure how full it was going to get. I mean, this thing is going to be, I might have to actually get another pan out, because this is going to be pretty dang full once we get everything else in here. Okay, and now that that's done, I'm just gonna take this guy, rinse it down a little bit, probably, splash some water on myself, because why not? If you want to play Xbox stuff, DM me on Discord. I gotta cuddle my puppy. Sounds good. Captain, you enjoyed them cuddles. Yeah, it'll probably still be a little bit. I've got probably, um, I don't know how much time left. Probably another at least 20 minutes or so until we're going to be ready. Let me see here. Let me go with this guy. I like this spoon a lot better. Start stirring this stuff around and trying to get it all cooked. Turn that up a little bit. Let me see here. What else do we need? What else do I need? I got some other things going on. I'll check back in 15 minutes. Okay, that sounds good. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. I need to look in here. Ow, my knees. Getting old. I don't have any big pans in there. Where's my big pan at? I don't know what I did with it. Oh, well, we'll see if we can make this work. Crank up that heat. Get it going. I gotta get some food. Yeah, get some food too. Definitely. I need to prepare this guy also. Yep, hold on. There we go. As I literally, what did I hit? Crushed ice. No, I don't want crushed ice. I want cubed ice. I accidentally hit that somehow. Maybe that's what I did. I hit it with my elbow. I was gonna say I hit that. I don't know when. And then the damn thing was trying to crush all my ice, and it annoyed the hell out of me because it takes like 20 minutes to fill my 40-ounce mug with crushed ice, and what it does to put just regular ice cubes in. So I'm gonna put 2 cups into this guy. I don't know if you can see that from here, but we need 2 cups of here. Glug, 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 glug. Very slowly. Big pens are us. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, so we got 2 cups of that. I'm just going to set it off to the side over here real quick. And then we'll put the lid on this, and then we'll put it in the blue fridge, because we got that going on for us. There we go. And perfect. And hopefully some of that onion's going to be small enough. It should cook pretty quickly. We'll get it added in here shortly. Big pans are us. Yes, I thought you said big pens. I couldn't read it from a distance because I am going blind apparently. And the font's really small. Yes, I definitely need to find big pans. I mean, I have a skillet. I just got it dirty last night and then didn't wash it, and I should have. Otherwise, that's what I'd be using to cook this, and we'd have enough room there. Taco, how's it going, man? Welcome. Welcome to the cooking stream. We're making up some Thai curry today. Trying to get this cranked out a little quicker, so that way we can get to playing some video games. We're getting close, and not really at the same time. But it's coming along, though, at least. We're getting a little bit closer. I think I'm getting almost ready to toss in my my onions here, and then we'll get ready. Once we get the onions in, we'll get pretty much everything else in. We'll get the broth in, the rest of the coconut milk, and then we'll be to the races pretty much, and it'll just be sit and let it simmer. Not a whole lot, Taco. How about you? I've just been working today and finished up work, and then pretty much finished up work and started preparing for the stream tonight. So trying to get everything in order. I had to run to the grocery store and get some ingredients that I didn't have, and then forget other ones that I wanted to have. You know, I guess that's how that goes sometimes, though. But otherwise, I'm just happy it's Friday. I'm ready for the weekend. My head's cut off by the camera. I need to do some work on that and resize some things. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I just do a little bit of that. How does that look? Oh, that's the wrong scene. Let me transition to something. What do I want? I want the stove area. But first I want to slide that up a little bit. There we go. How about that? No, it still cuts me most of the way off. It's been a pretty uneventful Friday, which is nice. Hey, I would agree. I mean, as long as nothing bad happens, I'm pretty good with uneventful Fridays for the most part. Because it seems like if it is an eventful Friday, it's usually not a good eventful Friday. At least my record usually seems to go like that. So now I'm just gonna kind of push this stuff up here like so. I'm gonna just dump these onions in real quick, and we'll get those going a little bit sooner rather than later. And let's get them all out, not just part. And I don't know if you can tell, I'm definitely left-handed, so I don't know what to do with my right hand in this spoon. So get that added in. Get those guys cooked around. Perfecto. Start sweating those guys up. So yeah, so I'm pretty good with uneventful Fridays. It's I would prefer uneventful than crazy bad things. So I would say that's probably makes for a pretty good day. Do you cook curry often? Actually, well, I don't know if I'd say often. It's been probably 2-3 months maybe since I've cooked curry. The last time I cooked this dish in particular, I cooked it, I think like 4 times in 1 week. Because I get on this thing, I find a recipe, and my goal is, usually when I find a recipe, my goal is to perfect it. So I cook it and cook it and cook it and cook it, make all these different tweaks every time I cook it. And I usually do it in smaller amounts. This is actually the biggest amount I've ever cooked of this. Because most of the time I cook it enough that I can have it for 2 meals. So that way I can have it fresh once it's done. And then I have it again as leftovers, just mainly to see how it turns out as leftovers. And sometimes I'll have to do some alterations to it to kind of clean it up for making it better to have leftovers of. So, or just decide entirely that this isn't going to be good for leftovers. So I try to cook it only in increments that I can eat in one sitting or eat with other people in one sitting. So this one isn't bad as leftovers. It's usually pretty good. The only issue I run into is it thickens up quite a bit in the cooling process. When you cool it down and put it in the containers and stuff, it usually kind of dies off. We're gonna see. This is gonna be. I might have to cut some of my potatoes out. So I'm gonna put all of this guy in. All of this guy in. Whoops. I hate coconut too with a passion. If you can believe it or not, I love curry. I don't mind anything that has coconut in it as far as curries and stuff goes. I don't like German chocolate cake either. But I can eat it in curries, and I usually try not to lick my fingers though after I'm dumping the coconut milk in, because I really don't like that at all. Yeah, we're gonna need definitely a bigger pan for this. I done goofed. It's okay though, I'll admit it. Let me just stir this up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a huge mess probably. I'm gonna try to minimize it as best as possible. Let me just set that on there. Let me get out. We're gonna get the stock pot out because that's gonna be about the only thing that I think I'm gonna be able to fit all this stuff in. Oh, there's that big pan right there. I'm gonna use that big pan instead. Sorry guys if that clanging is really loud. Oops. Oh god. Here we go. We got a big pan right here. You know, trial and error. I've never made this amount of food before. Well, sometimes you goof it up and you gotta do something extreme to get it all to work out right. So we'll see if we can get as much of the meat and stuff out as we can, and then we'll just dump the rest of the broth essentially into the pan, and everything will be okay once again. See, we can always account for these things. Now I just got one extra pan to have to clean. How bad is that? Okay. And then I get tired of waiting, so we'll just do this. Perfecto. See, no harm, no foul. Quick and easy transition. And we got like 90% of it out of there, so that's good. We'll bring this up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, that's when we'll add in the rest of our vegetables and stuff. I gotta get this guy. I gotta figure out how much of it I need. So we gotta bring this over from you guys real quick. Let me set this down. What do we need? We need 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, which is okay. This is the other thing that I like about this guy. I can't read it anymore, so we're just gonna stick to the measuring spoon that I got out. because that'd be the last thing that I want to do is get too much of this in here. We'll do 3 tablespoons of this guy. And maybe not quite. We'll do that. That'll be perfect. And then we'll bring our garlic in. I just put this garlic in the pan with some olive oil. And we just kind of simmered it a little bit to pull some of the garlic flavor out. Because who doesn't like garlic? So did that just a little bit earlier on before we tossed everything else in. We'll get that added in. And yeah, we'll get this up to a boil. Then we'll add in our vegetables, or at least a good portion of them. I may have to turn this into a two dish thing here because I cut up a lot of vegetables. If you missed it earlier, I think actually you can see my plate of vegetables back here that I've cut up already. This nice heap of stuff we got there. So we'll have to cut out some of the potatoes, I think, to get it to where we're okay. But yeah. So we got everything going on, so let me make sure I'm not missing anything. We got coconut milk, we got curry paste, we got chicken stock, we got vegetables, we got fish sauce. Calls for palm sugar, which I don't have, so I'm not going to put any of that in there. And says optional peppers, which we got peppers. So we are rocking and rolling. I wonder at this rate, Clam might be done with her hair by the time I get done with this. Now let me make a little bit of additional room here. Just slide things around. This guy can go back into the refrigerator. Welcome to the blue light district. Does it turn blue? Yep, there we go. Oh, do you know what? I wonder if there is a UV light in here somewhere for sterilization purposes. There could be a UV light in with the LED lights that are in there. That's what I'm wondering, if that's what's making the blue, is an ultraviolet light. Who knows? It's hard to say. How's your evening going, though, Taco? What'd you have for dinner? Did you have something good? How was your lunch? You went out to lunch with some friends, didn't you? I think I remember you saying during your stream you were meeting up with some friends for lunch, which, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to give you a shout-out here. Get you a shout-out. So anybody who isn't following Taco, please give him a follow. He's an awesome dude. I've lurked in a few of his streams and gave up my sub today and subbed to him because he's pretty awesome. I enjoy the content that he puts out there. Plays some sports games. If you enjoy sports games, I've watched him play some of those, and then does a lot of just chatting, which has been a lot of fun to get to sit and interact with him. And it's going to be fun. What day was the game? I think it's October. Is it 10th? Maybe I think was a Saturday. Let me look at the calendar. Hot quick second here. Yes, October 10th, I think it was, is going to be a fun one because that's when Iowa State plays Texas Tech, and then I get to come into chat and either be a sore loser or I get to give a little nudge to Taco because we won. I don't know if we'll stand a chance or not. It's going to be an interesting season for us. So I'll have to see. I might have to, let me see here. In the world of lids, let me see if I have a lid. I mean, I know I have a lid for it. I just got to figure out which one it is. That one's the one for it. We'll put that on, and we'll help it come up to a boil a little bit quicker. Who else have we had here? What do I have on here? I don't have anything. I don't even know what this button does anymore. I should have put notes on them. Let me see who else is here. Clam's still here. Give a shout out to Clam real quick. Now that I got a few minutes, we'll do some shout outs that I didn't get done earlier because I'm a butthole. No, sorry guys. Also, if you're not following Clam, give her a follow. She plays a lot of first-person shooter games. We finally convinced her to take some games that she gets bored of in the first 5 minutes and actually play past that a little bit, and I think she's enjoyed it. Oh, and my camera froze again. Uh-oh. Well, that is awkward. My phone died. Sorry, everybody. Hold on just a second. Let me see if we can do this here. We're gonna lose another camera. I didn't realize that my camera had died. I apologize for that. USB connected. Oh boy. Come on now. This phone's a lot bigger and doesn't want to sit as well as what the other one does. Oh boy. Here, let's try it this way. How does this work? Because as long as we can get the curry, maybe the battery will last long enough that it doesn't matter. Hey, that's okay. No, it needs to be plugged in. Oh my lord. Hold on, everybody. Let me do a be right back transition here. Let me get this fixed. Okay, here we go. Well, it's a little bit of a mess. So one phone died. This is the whole reason why I got some cameras. Thank you, Taco, for that lurk. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming out and hanging out for a little bit. Sorry we got the disaster going on. Apparently, camera batteries die faster than what the computer will charge them. Find out. Okay. So now that this guy's come up, now we just got to add in all of our vegetables here. I'm just gonna easily bring these guys over and drop them in like that. So that way I'm not losing half of the vegetables along the way. Grab these guys, drop them in. Actually, let's do this. Let's see if we can just kind of fold this plate a little bit. Perfect. Okay. And the nice thing is, you know, the gravy will thicken up ever so slightly around this and it'll be absolutely perfect. So let me see what I can do to not burn myself too much. We'll just get this all incorporated here. Then we'll get the lid on it and get it back into simmer mode. And then we'll be pretty much rocking and rolling here with this to the end. Let's give her a good, let's just pick some of this stuff up. We'll get the chicken up towards the top here, kind of incorporate it a bit, and see what happens here. Okay, just gonna pop the lid on that. We'll let it come back up to a simmer. We'll let it simmer. I'm gonna set a timer for about 10 minutes here. Kitchen timer, let's do 11. And then we'll see where we're at after the 11 minutes, which I think should be pretty much perfect. The rice is done for sure. It has been for a little bit now because I misinterpreted my times. My headset's pooping out. It's getting ready to go low. Okay, good. I was like, it looks like it's not live again. So that'll be good. Once we get that going, once we get those extra cameras, it'll help take care of hopefully most of those issues with a phone dying, which granted the battery on that thing is pretty old, so it doesn't last as long. So what do you guys have going on for the weekend? Anybody got some big weekend plans? I know I'm not going to be doing too terribly much. Oh my gosh. Underworld89, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out. I hope your evening is going well. Are you up to anything fun this weekend? need to fix my noise gate on this microphone. Because y'all probably are sitting there hearing me drinking. It's like, oh god, stop, please. Noise gate will bring it up just a touch bit higher. Nope, it's gonna come up even higher than that. Holy cow. I had that way, way off. There we go. Now that's a lot better. Now you aren't hearing all the background noise when I'm not talking. It should die out pretty much immediately then. But yeah, thanks to everybody who's hanging out, who's been lurking. I know this has actually taken a lot longer than I expected it to. I did a lot of chatting when I first started, so I didn't quite get to all of the cooking right away like I should have. So we're running a little bit longer, but this should be coming up to a boil here, or up to a simmer again real quick, and then we'll have about 10 more minutes, and then we'll be kicking over to do some video games while I munch on a little bit of the food. So let me just get some of these guys thrown away here. Try not to make a crap load of noise, because that noise gate is still going to pick it up. That's the only downside, I think, to having a microphone like this, is they pick up everything that happens around you. So we'll have to see how that other microphone treats me. Hopefully it works out a little bit better and doesn't quite pick up all the background noise. But we'll get all of these guys put away. Get that set up there. And of course now I don't have my little plating area. Normally I do my plating area over here where I do all the cutting. So that way we've got the nice camera view of everything, but unfortunately I don't have that phone anymore. So we'll just have to kind of improvise, and then probably just look at the picture that I'll take of it, and we'll put it up on Instagram and stuff. Let's get this stirred up here a little bit again. It smells delicious, I will say that much. The peppers, I can really smell the peppers and the curry, so it's going to be really, 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 really good. And actually what I might do, because this is not the power burner, as I call it, I'm going to take this guy off. We'll just set it back there. Pop that guy on low, because that's the low simmer burner. We'll just slide this guy over, and we'll let this guy crank up. Ooh. We'll crank it up a little too much and turn the lighter on. What's that? This is, as I slide everything over, I need to do some corrections here. If I can, hold on. This is Thai yellow curry, or Thai red curry technically, because I use red curry paste. Now this isn't gonna sit up here right, is it? Uh-oh. Now we gotta do all sorts of stuff. This phone is way too big for sitting up here. My hands are free, looking good. Clam, how's it going? Thank you so much for hanging out. How's your hair looking? Is it looking pretty good? I'm just gonna use this guy. I'm gonna set this up here. Yes, chicken. See if we can get this. Normally this looks a lot better. See, Clam, here's the downfall of having a setup like this. Is one thing breaks, everything breaks. But we improvise and we adapt, apparently, a little bit. There we go. Yes, I am doing white rice. It is actually, the white rice is done. I overestimated myself, and actually, I'll just show this to you here. Here's the white rice. It is ready, and it's just sitting back, just keeping nice and warm and ready for me. I kicked it off just a touch bit too soon. I overestimated my quantities, and I'm cooking more than what I normally do, so it's taking a little bit later. You think so? Oh, I totally think so. But hey, this is good. The first cooking stream that had issues, and now I see what some of the issues are. I got to be careful with that. It looks good. Yeah, I'm hoping it turns out pretty good. I think food-wise, I think this is gonna turn out pretty good. I'm gonna take that off now that we've got it kind of up to a simmer. We'll let it sit there and simmer for the rest of our time, and that way it'll evaporate a little bit, and it'll thicken up, and it should get right and perfect for us for the curry. Because I usually have it where it thickens up too much, and then you almost have like no sauce to it at all, and it's basically just all stuck to the vegetables pretty much. And it's almost more like a really thick gravy, like a biscuits and gravy thick gravy. So I usually try to do a little bit of it with the lid on to bring it up to temperature, get some of the vegetables starting to cook, and then get the rest of it going that way. So yeah, so I'm excited for it. I mean, it smells amazing. If we could have Smell a Twitch, where you guys could actually smell this, it's fantastic so far. So I am actually really excited to get digging into it. What do you got going on the rest of your evening, Clam? Do you have any big plans as I burn my fingers just ever so lightly? That's my big, like, not really pet peeve, but my addiction is I want the pan to be perfect over the burner, like centered, so all of the heating is even. And sometimes that drives me nuts, and I'll move a pan like 10 times trying to get it perfectly centered, and it never works. It always ends up everywhere. So that is my luck. Smell a Twitch. Yeah, Smell a Twitch. That's, maybe I should invent that. I don't know how it would work. I don't think it would work. Because you'd have to have pre-made smells that you would package with it. You know, you would think with today's technology that they'd be able to get something figured out for us, that we'd be able to do something additional, but apparently not yet. Maybe one day we'll get something like that. Get to bed early? Oh, dang. I'm sorry, Clam. That sucks. Just, like, make that a little bigger. There, how about that? Let's see how this goes. We're doing pretty good. We got probably about another 5-6 minutes left of this guy. And it'll be done. I can't believe how long this has taken. Which, granted, I got to be a little bit of a jabbermouth there for a little bit. Getting a lot of talking done and not a lot of action. I should have probably got got my coconut milk in just a little bit sooner, so that way it was going while I was finishing up cutting up some of the last stuff. Candles, food scented candles. I don't know yet. I haven't. Captain asked me earlier, and he said he was available to play games if I wanted to, depending on what I was doing. But I don't know. I hadn't really decided. I still haven't really decided. What sounds good? What should I play? Do you have any recommendations? I haven't figured it out yet. So if you have a recommendation, I'm definitely open for any and all recommendations. I think we talked earlier, and I'm sure you probably heard because I think you've been here most of the time. But if not, there were some mentions of Alien Isolation, but I'm saving that one for next week sometime for Spooktober kickoff. We're gonna kick it off by finishing Alien Isolation. And then we'll see what else. So I don't really know. Okay with Cap. Oh, play. Yeah, I gotta see what he's got. We might have to play some Apex or something like that. Whoops, what's happening here? Oh, I got a pop-up. I'm getting text messages, that's why. I was like, I see pop-ups coming up on my computer here. Holy cow. My buddy got a new pickup truck. He sent a picture of us that he backed it into his garage, and it was about, I don't know, about that far, maybe a little bit more, maybe about that far from the back wall of the garage, and he said it fits, technically, but that would scare me. I don't think I would like that being in there like that. Okay, let me hit this guy here. Timer for about another, let's do 4 minutes here. I think that will be everything. I have you up, I couldn't hear too well. This hair dye. Oh, earmuffs. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You definitely don't want to dye your ears. That makes sense. Did you put the bread on? Did you use that for your ear protection? That would be like the perfect ear protection, basically. All right. Well, at least this thing is ripping on and going. is perfect. Now, let me ask you this question. Are you happy that you didn't do the hair dye on stream? Or would it have been okay to do on stream? That's what I'm curious about. The kit for it actually came with the... Oh, it did? Oh, that's fancy. Hey, that's nice. At least they thought of you. They could have just sent it along with nothing and been like, yeah, sorry, you're out of luck there. You got to come up with your own ear covers. Which I guess you could have just used the bread. Although that probably would have been a disaster too. You'd have had a different colored bread on. Come on, baby. This is smelling so good. I just want it to be done so I can eat. Need smell-o-vision. That's exactly what I was saying, Taco. I'm telling these guys we need smell-o-vision. We need smell-o-twitch. A nice new version coming to a computer near you, Smell-o-twitch, where it's going to be probably super expensive and probably not turn out as well as what we would hope for. But yeah, it is smelling really good. And it's starting to thicken up just a little bit, so I think it's going to be perfect. We got a few minutes left of it, and then we will get it, I'll get it plated up here, and then we'll move down. I'll have to end the stream for probably like 4 minutes or so, is usually about how fast I can do it, because I got to take that camera there and plug it in at my computer downstairs, and we'll get the stream cranked up again, and then we'll play, we'll hop into some games to play. Don't quite know what we're going to do yet, but we'll find out something fun to run around in and play. And I got it all over my arms too. Oh snap, does that come out? Or are you going to have like whatever color arms for a few weeks now? Let's give this guy another twirl here. Ooh, perfect. I've definitely learned something, Clam, though. I gotta come up with recipes that I can do a lot faster, or do amounts that I can do a lot faster, because this has taken quite a long time to get set up, or get going. Also, as it cools, it'll thicken up too. Yes, definitely, yeah. So that'll be the thing. I can tell when I stir it that's a little bit thicker than what it has been, and then yeah, once it cools down, it'll definitely thicken up more. I think that's where I run into the issue is it gets like the perfect thickness when you cook it originally when it's done, and then as it cools down and everything happens, it gets even thicker, and then it's like, oh crap, this is basically a paste, and you don't have enough curry sauce to go around for the rest of it. So I definitely do like that. And then let me grab a fork real quick. I give the potatoes a shot to make sure that they are good to go. And we'll see. I got it mostly out. I'm more concerned about when I rinse it out. I think my tub is going to be stained. Ooh, oh yeah. Yeah, that would not be good. Let's see. Ooh, that's almost there. Just a touch bit longer. That one was a little hard still. And the vegetables are coming along great. Yeah, those are pretty much perfect right now. So they'll be just a little bit overdone, but they won't be mushy. So we'll be okay on that. Pop that in there. Did you get some of that? Gosh, what was it? I can't remember now. I can't remember. I think it was Little Red, maybe. Twitch streamer. I think she said she uses some like purple shampoo or whatever to help with the hair dye. It apparently doesn't. It doesn't pull out the hair dye or something. I don't remember exactly what it is, because I think she said she had the same issue where she would get her hair dyed and then she would stain her like shower and stuff from the hair dye coming out, and then she used that that hair dye or that shampoo or whatever to prevent it from like seeping out everywhere. Yeah, hey, everybody can come have a bowl. I made like enough for 15 people basically, so everybody come over, grab bowls, we'll have a bunch of this, and then we can take a nap, because I tell you what, this is going to be some heavy food right here. I mean, we got a whole bunch of starches going on for sure. Oh yes. And it's gonna be, yeah, it is thickened up a little bit, but it's still a little thin, but that's perfect, because like you said, Clam, it'll thicken up as it cools down, and it'll be perfect. Looks like it smells and tastes so good. Yeah, it is. It is looking great. And I can also tell, because I can see where the level of the curry used to be in there, so I can tell it's dropping a little bit. Oh, nope, I'm a noob. I don't even know for sure. I have just heard that it was something that people had recommended for using when you dyed your hair to help, and it's basically, from the sounds of it, to help the color last longer. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's do this. Hey, there we go. Now you can see me standing over here a little bit better. But I don't know. I mean, I never dyed my hair before. Once in high school, I did this with my friends. I don't remember what we were doing. We were making a video for a class, I think, and we got this like hairspray that was like hair dye hairspray, so it was like a spray paint basically for your hair, and we sprayed it on, and that was the only time my hair has ever been any other color than what it currently is, and all we did was like sprayed this like silvery colored stuff in it, so it was kind of weird. What part of the world? Excuse me. I am located in Iowa. I live in Council Bluffs, Iowa. So I'm looking forward to like 3 weeks from now, because you said you're a Texas Tech fan. I'm looking forward to Iowa State playing Texas Tech and seeing how that goes. Excuse me, as I sit here and burp a little bit, accidentally into the microphone, because I can't really move it anywhere. So I'm looking forward to the Texas Tech game, but I'm always looking forward to the Texas Tech game when Iowa State gets to play them. So, yep, and I think I put it in your Discord because you have your cool map that you're filling out, which I thought was an amazing idea. I never thought about doing something like that. I maintain my own Google map where when I travel places for work and stuff, I'll... Let me guess. Viking. Oh no, Anonymous. My God, scaring the ever-living shit out of me. Oh my God. Perfect. Heart attack. So yeah, so I thought that was a really neat idea of yours that you had to, you know, take recommendations from people, and then if you ever go there, you've got basically, you know, a schedule built in for all the places that you can go. So I think that is pretty damn awesome. I'm glad I wasn't like have like a spoonful of this crap when that alert went off and like chuck shit everywhere. That would have been something I would have done for sure. The Viking Barber. Ah, see, I knew it. I knew you would show up not too far after that alert went through. How's it going, Viking? How are you today? Just gonna grab a bowl here really quick, because this is pretty much done now. So I'm gonna just pull that heat back a little bit, see what happens. Yeah, what alert. I see you over there, Viking Barber. I know what you're up to. Ooh, look at this. This is going to be so good. As I very terribly fluff this up with a spoon. Alright. We got some nice white fluffy rice. And then we'll grab my ladle for the curry. Oh crap, there goes my headset. Okay, we're back. I totally believe that, because when I first started working up in Minneapolis, I spent, I don't know, probably the first, the week before I started up there, and then probably pretty much every Thursday and Friday, and even evenings after work, I would just sit at my Airbnb and look for places to go and eat and do foods to try and all that type of stuff, and then, you know, of course, go and try them. But it was fantastic. So here we go, folks. Whoops, as I hit the microwave and try not to spill it all over myself. We have the bowl. We have it. It is done. The potatoes seem to look perfect, so it's going to be amazing. Have to run, but may swing by getting later. Hey, perfect, Taco. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming out. By the way, Viking, thank you for those biddies. I appreciate that. And for the 100 biddies for scaring the shit out of me. I gotta go and clean my pants now after that. So, all right, folks. So that is where I'm gonna shut all this down for right now. So I'm going to go offline briefly, grab that camera there, run it downstairs, get it plugged into my computer. Once it gets plugged in, I'll start the stream back up, and then it'll be on the just starting screen, or starting soon. I'll get my stuff kind of transitioned down there, and then we'll be ready to play some games and get up to some type of shenanigans. So, Viking. All right, fine. I don't know what you're talking about either. Some random person came in and scared the shit out of me. I appreciate that. Taco, thank you so much for them 69 biddies. I'm not as cool as Clam. I don't have a 69-bit alert yet. I'm working on it, though. I'm trying to get all my alerts transitioned so I can have different alerts for different phases. And I hope, are any of the alerts coming through for you guys? Or am I the only one that's like, not, oh, that's probably why. Now the alerts will come through. I apologize for that. Hold on, let me hit that real quick for you. Ka-chow. Oh. And it's not going to show up. It'll make the noise for it. I'm lame. I don't have decent alerts. Clam, I need to steal like some of her ideas. So I have to get all this stuff figured out and set up better. So here we go. Viking, I'll give you yours too. We'll do some extra attacks on. I don't know who the bit boss is right now, but we'll hit them. So I like that this dye is not chemical based. It isn't harming my hair and smells good, but I'm pissed they recommended buying 3 containers. I barely used 1. What? No way. Holy crap. That is nuts. I didn't realize. Wow. I feel really bad now that you got 3 of them and you only needed 1. But I guess you get to just do your hair that color more times. Hey, you should do Kirk's hair. You should dye Kirk's hair that color too. You guys can you can be twins. That would be great, wouldn't it? Okay. Perfect. Hey, we have a Discord. There we go. Damn, that's crazy. Okay. Well, if you're going to still be here, Clam, I'll be back in just a few minutes, but I'm going to shut this down because my back is killing me from being like this all evening. So, I'll be right back in just a couple minutes. And for those of you who aren't going to be here, thank you for coming out and hanging out with me. I know that was like the longest ass cooking stream that's ever happened. So thank you for sticking it out and hanging out with me. And I'll let you know here in a few minutes how good the food is, because I'll get it downstairs before I'll even get to take a taste of it. He won't do it. Damn it. He won't do it. Okay, well, I'll make sure to make up for the extra $40 in bits later. No worries, I got you covered. So let me pop this off, and we will see you all in just a couple minutes. What do we got here? Let's do this.